The United States and Iran are edging closer to a military confrontation as hopes for a diplomatic solution to their standoff over Tehran's nuclear program appear to be fading. Officials on both sides, as well as diplomats across the Gulf and Europe, warn that the risk of conflict is rising sharply. Sources say that Iran's Gulf neighbors, along with its regional adversary Israel, now view a military conflict as more likely than a negotiated settlement. Washington is responding with a major military buildup in the region, one of the largest since the invasion of Iraq in 2003. Israel's government believes that both Tehran and Washington are at an impasse. Officials say Israel is making preparations for possible joint military action with the United States. However, no final decision has been made on whether such an operation will actually take place. If it happens, it would be the second time in less than a year that the US and Israel have struck Iran. Last June, joint airstrikes targeted military and nuclear facilities in the country. Regional officials express growing concern over the potential fallout of another confrontation. Oil-producing Gulf countries are particularly worried, fearing that a military clash could spiral out of control, destabilizing the broader Middle East. Two Israeli officials told Reuters that the gaps between Washington and Tehran seem unbridgeable. They say the chances of a near-term military escalation are high. Some regional observers believe Iran is dangerously miscalculating, holding out for concessions while US President Donald Trump is boxed in by his own military buildup. Alan Ayer, a former US diplomat and Iran specialist, explained that neither side seems willing to compromise. He said, quote, "Both sides are sticking to their guns. Nothing meaningful can emerge unless the US and Iran walk back from their red lines, which I don't think they will." Ayer added that Trump cannot simply assemble such a massive military presence and then back down with a lukewarm deal. If he attacks, it's going to get ugly quickly, he warned. Diplomatic efforts have stalled. 2 rounds of talks between Iran and the United States failed to resolve core issues, including uranium enrichment, missile development, and sanctions relief. Tensions were visible during a recent exchange involving Omani mediators. When they delivered a US envelope containing missile-related proposals, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi refused to open it and returned it. After talks in Geneva on Tuesday, Araghchi said the sides had agreed on guiding principles, but the White House emphasized that significant gaps remain. Iran is expected to submit a written proposal in the coming days, and Araghchi said he plans to have a draft counter-proposal ready soon. Meanwhile, President Trump has warned Tehran of serious consequences. On Thursday, he said Iran must reach a deal on its nuclear program, or really bad things could happen. Analysts say he appears to have set a deadline of about 10 to 15 days. In response, Iran has threatened retaliation against US bases in the region if attacked. The rising tensions have already affected global oil markets, pushing prices higher amid fears of disruption. US officials stress that Trump has not yet made a final decision on military action. He has acknowledged, however, that a limited strike could be an option to pressure Iran into an agreement. "I guess I can say I am considering that," he told reporters. The timing of any potential attack remains uncertain. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio is scheduled to meet Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on 20th February to discuss Iran. A senior US official said that US forces would likely be fully deployed in the region by mid-March. As the situation unfolds, diplomats and analysts warn that the next few weeks could prove critical. The world is watching closely as the risk of conflict between the US and Iran grows, with consequences that could ripple across the Middle East and beyond.